Okay. As yesterday I talk about the texture, right? And then today I talk about the dimension tool. Okay. In drafting, we need to be specify your draft. You specify your dimensions first. Okay. Each and every dimension you want to specify here. Okay. In the drafting more format. Then how can we specify your dimension inside it? Just for this, check this out. How can we do that? For this part, we use, suppose in the rectangle, I use make a rectangle right here. Okay. I make a rectangle, I make a circle. Okay. And then I make something else, object right here. To suppose I make this type of object. And many of the things I make you. So suppose here I make this type of thing also. Okay. Each and everything I make here. And then I want to show its dimension. Then how can we show its dimension by use of this? For this purpose, what you do, I want to show its angle, how much angle will be back, how I want to show its distance, how I want to show its radius, diameter, anything I want to show here. Then what we do for this purpose, we can have to do the dimension. Here we have the dimension option. Here we have the option of this dimension, and then click on it. We have the multiple type of dimension here. One is your linear dimension, align dimension, angular dimension. First of all, talk about the linear dimension, how to use the linear dimension. Just click on linear dimension. Then what you do? Just click on first option and then second option, and then this will be shows you linear way of the dimension, right? So again, you click on the linear dimension. First point to select here, and then second point I selected, and this will be show linear dimension, and this will be show you 50 and then 100 by 50, right? If I want to show this type of dimension also, I can easily show here by use of the linear dimension. I click on this point and then this point, and then I shows this perfectly as this point, okay? And then same way, I click on this point and then in this point, and then this will be shown, okay? But I want to show this line of the distance, then how can we show this point? When we click on it and then use a linear dimension, this will be only shows horizontal and vertical slide of the dimension, not other way. Okay, horizontal and vertical. Note this hypotenuse line dimension will be shown here. Okay, then how can we show this type of dimension? Suppose I want to show here with the dimension in this part. Suppose I want to show in this dimension. Then how can we do this dimension? This will be shown as the linear, and then here. Okay, this dimension will be shown, but this is not perfectly will be shown here. Okay. Then what we do for this purpose? What we do? Just select here is aligned option. Here we have the aligned option, align, and then here right here there is position, and then here we click on this point, and then if you have the align in form of any angle tilted with any angle right here, then you can use to this part and click on this. Okay, this will cause here your dimension. Hypotenuse line will be drawn here and then show the hypotenuse distance. Okay. If you want to align dimension of this part, then you can also show here. Select here and select here. And this dimension will be shown. Okay. And shown of this part here, then you can use the align dimension for this purpose if you need it. Okay. And then second one of view, this is simple way to align two dimension. If you want to calculate this angle between them, then how can we do that? For this purpose, you can use here to the angle value, right? To this angle value, right? So how can we do this? Just click on the angle, and here this is my angular, and then what you do, first of all click on this point and then click on next line. Okay, and then we show here is your angle. Okay, same thing again, I repeat a dimension angular, and then this will be shown. Okay, and here I want to show this angle, then click on it, and then this will be shown the angle of the between this. Okay, if you show here, then this will be shown. I want to show this square type of line. Okay, any angle you want to show. Suppose I want to show this angle, then this will be shown, and then this angle I want to show here, then this angle will be shown. Okay, if you want to show each and every line angle, then you can use this part. Okay, and this will be shown here. If you need the, you can calculate the distance between the angle, then you can use it. Okay. The next one is your I want to calculate this radius and diameter. Then how can we do that? For this purpose, we have the radius and diameter option also. When we click on it and then click on this part and then you got the radius. Okay. If you again click on it and if you click on inside it, then this type of radius will be shown. And then if you click on outside, then this type of thing will be shown here. Okay. If here you can use the diameter and then click on the this part and then this will be shown the outside diameter. Okay, inside of the object, if you want to show the inside of the diameter, then this will be shown by the inside part of the diameter. Okay, and this is my symbol of the diameter. Okay, this is my symbol of radius r. Okay, and you can also calculate this arc radius if you want to show the arc radius, and you can use to showing the value as arc radius also by use of the radius command and diameter command only. Okay, if you click on this part, this type of thing will be calculated, and then if you click inside it, this type of thing will be appear. Okay, you want to also calculate this diameter if you need it, but in the arc, I only calculate is radius, not the diameter. Okay? If you need it, then you can also calculate this diameter, but here, for the arc, mostly we calculate the radius, and for the circle, whole circle, mostly we calculate is the diameter. Okay, and then come to the next part is here. Next one is your arc length. What's the arc length is? If you need to calculate this arc, suppose this is my arc, and then I want to show the arc length. This is my arc length, okay? And here, this point to this point, arc length will be shown here. This is called arc length, okay? And inside it, we have other option is your ordinate. What the ordinate is mostly used for the specifying the position value. Suppose I want to geometric strengthen here, and then I want to specify the value of coordinate values of the x and y position. This point is how far from the x and then y. Okay, this point will be in the position of x. Y position is 1993 to and y position is 45, 46, right? By use of this ordinate, we can calculate the specific coordinate position of the any points. Okay. Next one is your for jog. Jog is used for mainly arc section. Okay. Here for the arc radius you want to show, then you can use a jog. Jog is mainly used for the arc radius and don't want to need here. Only I want to show the only pass of this part. Okay, you want to only show radius. Okay, that's why we can use a jog. Not to showing the other parts and center point. I don't need to show the center point. Okay, in this case we show the center point, but a jog is used for the specifying only radius, not the center point. Right? That's why we jog option will be used. Next income is here. When we click key, I create here is an ellipse. And suppose I create here is an ellipse, and then here this is my ellipse, right? And this is my one. Okay. And then I want to calculate its radius and diameter. I can't calculate here is the radius diameter because each and every case is my radius and diameter are changed. That's why in this case I can't use the radius and diameter. For this purpose, you can use only linear to align anything you can use it. Just select this point, okay, and then you calculate this length, okay, and then again I use it here to coordinate to center point, and this will be calculated, okay. But this way you can calculate this radius, diameter, anything you can calculate by the use of this part. Just click. Okay. And again, by this way, you can calculate this thing. And then if you want to use here, I see enter again. And then I write here the dimension. Okay. And then here I write here the circle. Okay. And then here I make and then I make a arc. Okay. I want to calculate this dimension by the shortcut key is my DIM. Okay, and this is same as this option. Okay, and this will be happen why? Because when we click on this line, then this will appear. No need to select the points. It directly show the your dimension value. If you need this here, then click on this part, and then what will show here? This is will shown the the diameter. Okay, and then if you show click on the this part, then this will be shown. Okay, this will be shown the radius. Okay, in arc section shown the radius by dimension dim, and then if you show here the this point, then this will be show you this point. Okay, and then if you need it here, and then when we click on this line and this line, Then what you get here we got the angle. Okay, and then if you want to show this point, and then at this point, I can turn it. And then if you again you right here to click this point and this point, okay. Not here to linear dimension DIM enter. Select this line, okay, and select this line. So what you get here you got your angle. Yes, this option will be used for the directly showing you angle, distance, and anything you can want to show here. That's clear. By use of this way, you can calculate this dimension right here. Okay. Hmm. Next one here to come to this next part is here when you have to continuous and baseline dimension. Come to the box of the continuous and baseline dimension. Then suppose here I create a rectangle first. Here I create here, not here to dimension. This is my dimension option. I have just opened it. Okay. I create here a rectangle first. Here this is my rectangle, and then this is my rectangle. Then again I create here is a rectangle, and then here this is my rectangle one. Okay. And then again I create here and this is my rectangle two. Okay, and then I want to calculate this dimension by use of okay. I calculate this dimension by use of dimension DIMN, and then click on it, and then I click here and dimension I click here. Okay, if you want to continue, then C enter for the continue, and then DCO is also is a continue, and where you want to continue to dimension by use of this way. Okay, I continue on behalf of this, and then again I continue on behalf of this. Okay, on the baseline of dimension, I continue any of direction in the straight direction, then you can use the continue option. Okay, and then if you don't need the continue option, then click on again. Okay, if you need here, again I will use a dimension. I take a dimension right here. Okay, and then after that I click, and then I go stop. And then if you enter DCO for continuous dimension, then last dimension will be shown here. This will be continuously worked. Okay, and this will be continuously worked. Right. By use of this way, you can continuous dimension will be met. And then next one is your baseline dimension. Baseline dimension is used for the other way. This is means as if you want to calculate this distance, total distance right here, then how can you calculate it? Suppose here I want to use a dimension DIM and then calculate this dimension. Okay, this dimension value is my 69.1, and then I want to baseline dimension. Then for B, enter for baseline dimension and hit, and then one second. If I calculate this dimension, I just select all and then delete it. I make a dimension first, DIM. Okay, click this dimension. Okay, enter, and then here we have the baseline dimension dBA. dBA is a baseline the shortcut for the dBA baseline dBA, and then enter. Okay, and what's the baseline is? We select the baseline. Okay, this is my baseline, and I select here, and this is your baseline, right? Baseline dimension is just one thing I use it here. Suppose I want to calculate dBA. Right here is a dBA, and this where be my baseline dimension, right? One second. First of all, I use a dimension and then click on it, and then again baseline to B enter. Okay, select the baseline. This is my baseline. Okay, if I select here, this is my baseline. And after that, I calculate this baseline dimension, and after that, I calculate this baseline dimension. Okay, this baseline is option to base point of the any dimension, and then after that, this dimension will be increases. Right? This is called the baseline dimension. Okay. This is called my baseline dimension. If you select the baseline and then make the dimension by on behalf of baseline, then you can create the baseline dimension by use of this. That's clear. Okay. Next one will come here to the next part is date. If you create this type of thing, suppose here I create I see enter, and then here I create this long dimension values, right? And then I create, mark as a dimension. Okay, and here we use the dimension, right? Okay, but dimension is not shown because dimension size and text size is very small. Then how can we change this by use of the other way? For this part you can use here to do one thing. I just delete it again because this is not shown well. Then what you do for this purpose, you use a dimension style manager. We want to show here as a dimension style manager. And how can we show the dimension style manager? Just this shortcut is key is your D enter. Okay, D enter, and this will be shown here dimension style manager right here. Okay, and then I want to create the dimension style manager. First of all, I want to create a new dimension style manager, and then right here is a new dimension style. This is my new dimension style. I make it, and then continue. I click here. Then here my dimension style options will be appear. Okay, this new dimension style of option will be appear. In this case, first of all, I talk about the lines. I want to show the dimension different color of line. Just click on here, and then I checked here is a different color of lines. Line type, you can also change here the line type. Okay, I don't talk about the line width. You can also increase here. Okay, if you want to show the dimension line in the one side, then click on this button, suppress this one second line, and then second position. Okay, first I want to show all of the lines, and then this is my extension line. Okay, I want to show the different color of the extension lines also. This is my extension line, simple. Okay. And also don't want to extension line of one and the second position, then you can use it. Okay, this is a simple way of do your extension line. Then come to the next part is here to the symbols and arrows. This is my symbols and arrows. If you use a close fill arrows, close blank arrows, which arrows you want, because mechanical purpose is this is not needed to change here. But if you have to do the architectural work or civil work, then you can use the architectural thing. Okay, if you make a plan or something else, then you can use of this part. Okay. And then second also option I use is letters symbols are also same. And then this is my arrow size. I increase my arrow size is to for 10 mm. Okay. My arrow size will be increased here. And then center mark, if you want need it, then you can center mark here. And then I center mark is 10 mm. Okay. Then preceding dimension text about the dimension, okay, this will be as is it, this will be shown. Next one will come here as a text, and then inside the text we have the text option. I want to change the text color. Is here to magenta. I check here the magenta red anything. Here you can also specify the fill color of the text, but this is not necessary here. I use a name. And then I write here the text height is my 15. Okay, and then I increase the text height. Suppose I want to show the height in the 15 mm. Okay, and then you can also change the design of the text by use of three dots and then goes to directly to the text style manager. This is my text style manager. And then here I want to show in the Times New Roman, just click on the Times New Roman and then I want to show in form of bold. This is my bold option and just apply here. Close it. Okay. The next one I want to show is text height here. And then where we want to text is applies is the center position, is the below position. Okay. Is the above position and then below position, whatever you want, but is above is good. And then what's your align with horizontal extension line over the extension line where you want to show here, then you can use here. Okay. But I use here as a center is good. Okay, and left to right, I just mirror image of this part, and you can use it. Okay, okay, you can align with horizontal, but align with dimension is good. Okay. Next one is your fit. Fit option is your form title or text or arrows. Okay. Next one, your primary English unit you want to show here. But this part, you can select here decimal because I use a mechanical purpose for this part. Then you can select only decimal. If you do the, you can use up for making the plan layouts and building layouts, then you can use the architectural format, but you don't need it. You select the decimal side here. Precision, what you want to present, how many points you can want to show here is 0.2 points I want to decimal point. Okay. For the decimal separation, here we show here is a comma, but I need is here, not a comma, is period, is dot. Okay. If you want to round off, then you can also round off it. And then if you want to prefix and suffix, that's right here. And then I write here as mm. This is my prefix. Prefix is used as the outside, and then suffix is used as the outside. Okay. This is prefix and suffix. You can want to write here anything you can use. Yeah. Okay. This is simply prefix and suffix. Okay. Come to the next word is your scale factor. Scale factor is 1/1 ratio, and then here we trailing, and then here we have the decimal degree. So, and then precision is 0 I use here. Okay. You can also select the alternate units, but I don't need the alternate units right here. And then tolerance, if you need it, the tolerance, and you can use the tolerance of points, because if you make the micro level thing, then you can show the error values of the plus and minus 0.2 with this time. If you need it, then symmetrically you can make here. Okay, tolerance, divisible, limit space, whatever you want to show here, just use it. Okay, if you need that tolerance, then you can write the tolerance also. Okay, division value plus and minus values. Okay, if you need have this. Okay, precision you can use this upper value you can set here. Suppose I set the upper value is 0.02. Okay, maximum level of tolerance because if you calculate this by 1 per caliper and then anything, to some tolerance value will be here. To lower value than upper values you can create here. Okay, but this is not necessary for this. I just none. I click on the none because it's just necessary for the micro level. If you create a micro level thing, then you can write here as a tolerance unit. Okay, if you not create here as a micro level thing, then there's a need it. Okay, because in this micro level thing, we have to error of something. Okay, for micro level. That's it. Just click on OK, and this dimension will be set here. And then I want to as a current set as current dimension. Okay, when we check here as a current value, then you can use this. And then if you click here the I am enter, then here you select, and then this will be color, and then each and every cases will be appear right. Shown it. Okay, click on it. This dimension will be shown. If you want to show here, suppose here this four line I shown and this line I show, and this will be angle will be shown. If you want to show different things, suppose I want to show the circle distance, then you can also show the circle. I use a dimension, circle diameter, the distance, whatever you want to show. This is will be shown here. Okay, this by this way you can increase the size, decrease the size of the dimension, and then show the dimension is variable form. Okay, if you need it, then you can do it. Okay, by use of this part. Okay, that's clear. How to make your dimension and how to make your dimension in the different way. That's clear, all of you. How to apply the dimension in your drafting, in your object, in your sketch. I think all of you is clear. Okay, then come to the next part is here's your leaders. What's the leaders is? Leader is basically used for showing identifying any object, right? Here, suppose here I have this circle, and then here we have this circle, and here we have this circle. Okay, and then I want to show the value in form of this field. Then how can we do that? Okay, just click on to for this leader, we have the option is leader. Okay. And then for the leaders, we have the shortcut is MLD. Okay. And then here we click on it. And then here we talk right here. And then right here is my text is circle. I write here is circle. And if you need the increases, here we have the text editor option also. And then select here is my, suppose I want to 15. Okay. This is my option. Okay, and when we click on it, the this option will be shown here. If you want to click here, then you can also click this part. Okay, and then create anything here, can you specify here? Suppose here I want to create here, and then here I write to in form of, okay, rectangle I show here. Okay, then here we got to this part, right? And this portion will be calculated. If you want to show this circle in this board, because this all are the circles in different sizes will be shown, then what we do for this purpose, we have the add leader option also. When we click on the leaders, and then here we add this shape. Okay, leader position. Okay, this will be mark at this point is your leaders. Mark this. This is my object of this way. Okay, this is circle object. Whatever object you want to show here, then you can use it. If you don't want to this option, then you can also remove later. Suppose I don't like this point, just select it, and then which one we want, select it, and then hit that, and then this will be removed right here. Okay, by use of this way, you can use the leaders option also. And the next option is here. So leaders is your align. Align is mainly used for when we write here. To suppose here we have the circle, here we have the circle, here we have the rectangle, and here we have to make a polygon. Okay. And then I make a leaders, and this is a shortcut of leaders. First leaders I create here is suppose here is circle. You can also mark it and then show in the briefcase. That's why we can show here we identify as a multi-leader and a multi-line text. Okay, you close it again. I select the multi-leaders. Select this point again, and then here I want to create calculus. Make this part, and then right here is a rectangle, and then close it. And then again I here we write this point, and then right here is this point is my polygon, and then click on it. Okay. And then I want to align this text in the same line. Then how can we do that? For this purpose, we have the option is align. Align object is used for the circle. Select the object leaders option and then enter it. And then select your base option. Okay. And then if you align with the baseline, then what will you go see? Each and every leaders option and then text will be aligned in this position of the circle. Okay. And then in this way, you can make your diagram and make your drafting is better. Looking like is better. Okay. In this case, we have also one option for the leader style manager, MLS, multi-leader style manager. How right here for this, you can want to show in different styles. Suppose I want to show the different color, different text color, anything for the dimension side. I can also we have the multi-style manager MLS. The center is MLS. Then here we got the multi-style manager, and then click on the new. Just click on here new, and then right here is a new multi-leader style. Okay, and then continue. I want you as a continue, and here we have to open the multi-layer option. First of all, we have the ladder options. Here we have to select your ladder option for the straight line. This is my straight line. If you want to spy line is so not showing straight line, showing this like of thing. Okay, but I want to show the straight line. Just click on the straight line. The next one is your user dimension line type you can select here, line width you can select here, but I don't need it. And you can also select your which type of arrow, and then here we write the arrowhead distance. Okay, and then base size is 3.5. Okay, this is okay. Next one is leader characters, and then how many points you want. Here we have the 2 points, 1 2, and then next point will be 10. I want to 3 points, then click on the 3 points right here. Okay, and the next one is your contain option. Here we have the option is amp text. Okay, if you want to write, here's a block also option. Okay, block is come, and then you can also change this text style. And then suppose I want to change spice and this position. Okay, and then you can also write here is your text color, and then right here is my latest distance. Okay, if you want to always left side, they can always left hand. You can want to frame it leaders, then you can also frame this part. Okay, vertical attachment you need is not. I hope you need the horizontal. Okay, middle top line, bottom top line you can select here. Okay, gap you can take by here. And then I also talk about the block. Okay, AI we don't need here is a block. Just click on OK, and then here set is current, and then close it. If here this will be done, then after that what you do, just if you write as a MLD and then select any points right here, and then I mark it here, and then next point I use it, and then here I text, and then right here is your circle. Then close the text editor, then this will be appear, and then inside it we cause this amp text right here. Okay, by use of this way you can close this p and then mark it. So suppose your numbers anything you can here to mark. Okay, in this case we have to again we MLS right here, and then here I use to modify it. Click on the modify. If you want to any modification to this style, then what you do, just here come to this modification, and then condense here if we use a block not to this part. Okay, then block you can also use a block and then use a source point. Okay, it has the source point to you a slot option, circle option, box hexagon, what you want. And then here we use a slot option, yeah, circular option. Suppose here you want to circle option, and then I want to color center action. Okay, by block you can use a block color. Suppose here we use a block color is your red. Okay, and then scale what you want to scale here, and then click on it, and then click on set as current option, and then close. Then here what you do, if you write here, and then suppose I want to write here as a number, and MLD I use here, and then select this point, any points. Okay, and then I write here, And then I want to take number is one, just click on the one and this will be tagged here. Okay. You can also specify this, right? Okay. This will be your option by use of the block. Okay. And this is mainly used for the numbering the data. But in this case, I don't need here. This part, that's why I modify it again. And then I choose select MTEX. Okay, MTEX is going to look like. Okay, on behalf of this way, you can create this type of thing. Okay, this is a multi-leaders trial. By use of this way, you can multi-leaders will be used. Okay. Okay, I show one example for the how to show like multi-leaders position. Okay, so if you want to show the points, objects, anything by use of this way, this is my simple example to use here is a multi-leaders and dimension. Okay, here we have the option, right? Here we using hatching, dimension, each and everything, and also using a hat leaders for identifying numbers of the pass. Okay, this pass one, two, three, four, and then by use of the table, I explain this pass. Pass number one is what's his strength, what's his material, what's his quantity, and then pass number two was, and then by on behalf of this way we can create this thing, right? That's clear. This way you can create your data, and then your drafting is very perfect. Right? Next one will come to this part. So this will be clear to you how to make the layers and then dimensions. Yes, you know, that's clear. All of then next part is my tables. How to create tables. How to make a table inside your drawing. मैं कैसे यहाँ पे एक tables create कर सकता हूँ? For the table option, we have the last option of this part is annotation is table. Just click on the table if you want to make the table right here. And then also we have the option of the TB insert table option. Okay, just say it as a TB. Okay, same way. Click here table, and then here we have the option of the insert table. And then here we have to identify how many columns are there. Suppose I have three columns and then five rows. Okay, this will be come to this form, and then click here. And in this case, first of all, is your title. Okay? Title. And then here we have to column title. Okay, here we have this is my column title, column heading. Okay, this is also a column heading, and this is also a column heading. Okay, this is your for data. Which data you want. Okay. So all are the same for the data. Okay, all are the same for the data, right? Here we have the all the data, right? To for writing the data, then you can also use for the data side. And then for you have this data, you have the option if you collect select your table, then you have to have the table option right here. Okay, you can all use the Excel, and if you may know about the Excel, then you can easily know do this work in here. Here we have the numbers right here. Okay, this is my simple table, right? Come to the part of the TD. This is just explain how to do this. TB enter. Just click on TB enter. Here we have the option of this part. Start the empty cell. Here we have this option. Here we have the first row is my title option. You can want to also create is a header and then anything you can want to create. But this way you can create your title, then header, then data, right? And you can also specify row height and column width. Okay, by use of this field. Right? And then this is just simple way you can create this and then click on OK. This your table will be created. Okay, and then if you need this here, then you can create data. Suppose here I click here and then I want to do here to write things. Is suppose I want to write here is drawing data, right? This is my heading drawing data, and then I want to see a number here, serial number, name, and then quantity. What you want here? Suppose here I write one, and then here I want to circle, and circle is my four. Okay, and then second number I here to write is a rectangle. Yeah, and the rectangle I make here is a tree. Okay, and yeah, if you know about Excel, you can also do this thing. Select this point, and then I click here, and then my option will be increase that. Okay, and then here I don't want to do this. Just here to write polygon. I make a polygon as two. And the next one is use here is line. line I make as a thread, and then I want to calculate its total. And then one thing I also do as merge it. So how can we merge this? I select this both, and then where you have the merge option, merge the cell, and merge out, and then write as a total. Okay, and then here I want to calculate this. I also apply the formulas. As you know about the some formulas, okay. If you know about this thing, you can use it. Okay. Here we use this, and right here you say C3 to C6, okay, and then enter. This will be 19 value will be calculated by use of this way, okay, and then I want to show this value in the middle, okay, middle center. Then here we go here to all the data. If you need it all the data, is you select here, and then I want to show this data in form of alignment is my middle center, okay, and then this will be shown, okay. But this way you can create anything right here, okay, and then if you click here we have the option. Suppose I want to show the values, and then I want to insert rows, okay, insert above, below, whatever you want, okay. You just click here, and then you got the rows, and then if you want to delete the rows and delete the column, just click on the delete and rows, okay. Same thing you can use here to use of, okay. And then if you want to here to insert the column, then you can insert left, right, whatever you want, okay. And then you select again and then I want to delete column, just click on the delete column option, okay. To do this thing by use of this way, okay. This is a simple way, okay. You can also log the cell values, okay. Cell log your cell, and then here you can also format your data. Suppose here we have this data in form of numbers. This is my number data, all numbers. This is my quantity numbers data. Then what you want to have to data, you can also format this, and you can also have some basic formula, right? Is sum, average, count equation, okay. If you want to calculate here, I don't want to do this, and I delete it, and then I want to apply the sum. Just click on the sum, okay, and then select your table cell length, okay. This is my table cell length, and then click on OK, okay. Then you can calculate the sum also, okay. By use of this way you can also calculate this. We have the some basic formulas of the Excel also, right? And then by this way you can create your table. If you click double on click on, you can modify the table, entering the data in table, anything you can want to do this, okay. And this will be happen by use of this way. That's clear. If you know about the Excel anything, here we write here as a drawing. Okay, I write a drawing. Okay, this will be fine. Okay, here this I can create this type of table. And next one is you have the table style. Table style shortcut key is TS. I also style my table. Okay, I create a new, and then here I create a table style. Again, and then continue. I use it, and then what you do? Here we have to style the value. First of all, I style the title bar first, and then here we have to specify the text size is my suppose is 12, and then I want to the data is in form of anything you can write here. Suppose I try it eight text color is right, and then you want to text alignment is changed. You can want also the text alignment. This is text formula. Then we can go to the journal to write here the fill is yellow, okay. And then middle alignment labels what you want, and then here you want to so also specify the borders, okay. I don't need to say the borders. And for this part we come to the header section. Header section I want here to fill color is my you want to full color, then you can use a fill color also. And then text middle center, right? And then text is my uses here is a trend element, okay. And now if you want to need a text color, then you can also apply a text color right here, okay. If you need this, and then you can use it. And then you can also change this text styling by click on this part and then select your text style, and then you apply the border color. And the next one is you want to for the data, so click in the data and right here the data text is 8, and then I want to text color, then I don't want here to text color, and then I want to top center, not I want to see middle center, okay. Not a middle right, middle center I want here, okay. Let's use this, and this is will be simple way to align to data, and then click on OK, set a screen and close. Okay. Here we don't have to this data, just coming to this part, and then I want to make here DT, sorry, TB for insert table, and then here I calculation, click on OK, and the next table will be created by this way. Okay. Here you write drawing data, And then here you write serial number. Here you write as a name, and then here you write a quantity, whatever you want. And then also you can increase this table length by using this way. Okay, when we click on it, and then also you can increase this length, weight, and anything. If you need this to increase this size, you can also increase this shape. Okay, anything you can do by user yourself. Okay, if you need this, then you can calculate this, and then you can also increase the size and weight of anything. That's clear. How can we draw the table? How can we make the table? Okay. Okay, and then next one we do. Just message me in the group of also. Okay, I send this file to you, and then make this file to yourself, and then this will be make you useful because this is your practice file. And in this case, we write here is your dimensions, your user table, and then user hatching. All of things will be used here by use of this part. Okay, if you create this type of thing, and then you can helpful for you to how to make your program file. And then I say to this file to you. This will be helpful. Okay. Any doubts? Any question regarding from today class?